At any point, did you ever turn off the tape recorder?
Yes.
Okay. Where were you when this occurred?
Outside the building.
Okay. Is it fair to say that you guided Mr. Karr with his mother in close proximity out of the threshold of City Hall and then into the exterior area?
Outside the building, yes.
Okay. In a moment, I'm going to have you do some diagramming, and you'll be able to reflect that in the diagram, I assume.
I tell you the truth, I can't even remember exactly what City Hall, the front of it looks like. I think I've been in there about 2 times.
Okay. And this is adjacent to the police department?
Yes.
Okay. Are you familiar with the general courtyard area in front of the police department?
Well, the layout of the police department is actually set off to the northeast of the court building. I generally don't have, or the City Hall building, I generally don't have reason to go into the City Hall building.
Okay. Let's talk about turning off the tape recorder. Why don't you tell us in a semi-narrative form how that came to pass?
I don't remember specifically. I believe the tape recorder had been turned off when we left the building, and Mr. Karr started up and began asking me questions about a civil matter, being the landlord-tenant dispute that happened however long ago. And I told him I didn't want to be recorded, and he didn't turn it off. I pushed the stop button.
Okay. So coming out of the building, was the tape recorder on as you guided him out?
I don't remember.
Okay. Did you physically see him turn it back on at some point?
I don't remember.
Okay. Is it possible that the tape recorder could have been running the entire time?
It's possible.
Okay. Why is it that you did not want to speak to Mr. Karr on the tape?
That was my choice.
Okay. Under what authority did you turn off the tape recorder?
Well, I didn't want to be tape recorded.
Could you have simply just not engaged in the conversation?
I attempted to not engage in a conversation. Mr. Karr continued to try and get me to engage in a conversation. I told him that I would not speak with him unless he stopped recording.
Okay. Did you then speak with him about the incident after the tape recorder was turned off?
I don't remember.
Well, the opportunity then presented itself because you weren't comfortable speaking on tape. Because you weren't comfortable on tape, and that impediment, if you would, was removed, do you recall if you had any additional conversation?
I don't recall.
Okay, was Officer Knights present at that point?
I don't remember. Probably.
How did the conversation end up at that point?
I don't remember.
Okay. Are you aware if any portion of your conversation with Mr. Karr concerning, if you would, the landlord-tenant situation was audio taped by him without your knowledge prior to your turning off the tape?
I don't know.
Is that something that may have concerned you?
Well, it concerns me anytime someone's trying to secretly tape record me.
Okay. Did he conceal a tape recorder in any way?
I believe he had something covering it, like a notebook or a notepad or something like that, or the way he had it turned. I don't remember specifically, but it appeared to me as he was making an effort to try and tape record me without me knowing about it.
What gave you that impression if it was concealed?
I believe he had something, a notepad or something, that he had over the spindles so that I couldn't see them turning.
Okay. Did you physically pry or lift up the notebook?
No.
Then how did you actually get to the stop mechanism?
Because the stop mechanism was extending beyond. I could touch that without having to touch him, and I could tell it was recording because the record button was depressed.
What was Mr. Karr's reaction, if any, to your turning the tape off?
I don't remember.
Do you recall any reaction on his part?
No, I don't.
Do you recall any displeasure?
I don't.
Okay. Did Mr. Karr attempt to turn the tape recorder on?
I don't remember.
At that time, did you initiate any conversation with Mr. Karr, or was it limited to his initiation of conversation about the landlord issue?
Once again, I don't remember.
At some point, did Mr. Karr sit down on a planter?
Once again, I don't remember.
Do you have any recollection of the events and actions between the time you turned off the tape recorder and the time that David and Ginny Karr went out into the parking lot?
Not really.
Okay. At any point, strike that. Before you turned off the tape recorder, where were you standing in proximity to Mr. Karr?
I believe I was standing on his right side, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. Did you have to take a step at him to turn the tape off?
I don't remember.
Do you recall if you were within arm's reach of the tape recorder?
Since I turned it off with my hand, yes, I was.
Okay. And I guess, officer, what I'm asking is, did you have to take a step first to get to the tape recorder?
I don't remember.
Okay. Did Mr. Karr specifically ask you to speak with him and his mother?
I don't remember.
Okay. And do you ever recall saying that I won't speak to you on the record, meaning with a tape recorder?
I remember saying I didn't want to speak with him while being recorded. I don't believe I said on the record.
Okay. In narrative form, could you pretty much give me a full summation of everything you remember saying to David or Ginny Karr prior to them walking to the parking lot from the time they got out of City Hall? If you recall.
I don't recall a whole lot. I remember telling him that he had to leave the premises.
Okay. Anything else based on your recollection?
No.
Okay. Did the cars then go out into the parking lot?
Yes.
Okay. Did you stay in the immediate proximity?
Yeah, I stood about 100 feet to the east.
Okay. Based on your recollection, would you have been a direct line of sight of the car's, I would say the car's car, but I think the car's vehicle?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Officer, artistic ability notwithstanding, would you go ahead and give me a rough diagram of the City Hall complex, the parking lot, the area you took up?
Would you like I can do the parking lot a lot better than I can the City Hall because there's numerous statues and artistic things there that I don't recall.
Okay. Your lack of Da Vinci prowess aside, why don't we first start with the courtyard area, and then we'll do a separate one for the parking lot.
Mr. Lamb, can we go off the record at your convenience?
Sure. It's good. It's a good time to go.
Can we stay what?
Off
the record at 3:18 p.m. Back on the record at 3:21 p.m.
Records reflect purpose of the break was to put, I guess, something onto the officer.
Windscreen.
Windscreen on the microphone.
Okay. Okay, officer, back to the diagramming. With the understanding this drawing is not to scale, can you do two separate diagrams on the blank sheets of paper provided to you? One of the courtyard area, to the best of your recollection, and then we'll do a second one of the parking lot area.
I can't do one of the courtyard area. I'm not familiar enough with it. I've been in there twice. I went through there once when I was hired. I was in there once with Mr. Karr, and I don't remember specifically. I could get you a picture of it if that would help.
Okay. Let's go to the parking lot area.
Okay.
Great. I'll make you copies before we get out of
I'm
here.
not worried about that.
There's some bushes in here, but of course this isn't to scale. Actually, they're trees.
All parties understand this isn't to scale.
Okay.
I should have blocked the speaker. I'm sorry.
There you go, Mr. Lamb.
Okay.
This is
Okay, we're going to have this later marked as exhibit number 2. Okay.
This is Mrs. Karr's vehicle. She was in the vehicle. Mr. Karr was standing outside the driver's side door.
Okay, you're pointing to a rectangle, which would be on the west side of the diagram, and there's 2 stick figures, one with Karr and one that looks like Mrs. Karr. You could have drawn it larger, right?
I'm no artist.
Okay.